Hello again and welcome to my channel and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up and Co. And I'm glad to say actually that we're finally back to finish, well, not tonight, but we're on the penultimate round, but to conclude the Manufacturers Championship that we have been running. It's been a fair few weeks since we last see these guys on track. In fact, way back at the Dragon Trail International Speedway in Croatia. It's been several weeks since then. I mean, all sorts of things going on. Yeah, just one of those things. It was talk that there might have been postponement of the championship, but I'm glad to say that they have managed to get it back up and running. And this is round 9 of the championship, and we're in Belgium at the Circuit des Francorchamps, very well-known circuit, of course. If you're familiar with motorsport, you'd certainly know about this circuit. So a penultimate round it is, as I say, the usual 25-minute race, and hopefully we'll have a few more cars on the grid. Does look like we've got a bit more. I think we only had about 8 in Croatia last time out, so it looks like that reduced field that we did have has now got itself back up to where it has been at the rest of the championship. So let's go through this grid then before we take you around this 4.3 mile circuit in Belgium. So we've got Dan on pole position in that Cayman. I want to say thank you to Dan for the replay. We've got McGrath in second, and the second of the Caymans. Then Stormfly in third in the next Cayman. Then we've got Colonel Curtains in fourth place in the Cayman. So we've got 4 Caymans in the top 4. PM in 5th in that AMG, Osman in 6th in the Citroen. And now we've got OTR Thunder. Now, he's a new one to me, certainly a new one to the championship. Not come across him or them before. Hopefully this will be the first of many races that we will see Thunder. We're just calling Thunder, I think. Then we've got, he's in 7th, by the way, or they're in 7th. We've got DJ in 8th, we've got Bennett in 9th, Brian Moncani in 10th. There we've got Wadru in 11th, Unforgiven in 12th, Silly Shot in 13th, and Sai in 14th. So pretty much almost a full grid there. 14 cars on the grid waiting. So that's really, really good to see. Right, before we do get going, I'm going to just run quickly through the top 5 in the championship going into this one. So Colonel Curtains, he is leading the championship. He's sitting there in 4th place on the grid up for this one, but he's leading the championship on 268 points. And closest rival is PM in 2nd spot on 220. We've got 48 points difference there. So it's not completely done and dusted up there at the top for the to win the championship, but certainly Colonel Curtains is in a good position to get it done, I think. So they're the top 2. Then we've got Dan in 3rd. He's got himself up into the top 3 in the championship on 205. So he's only 15 points behind PM. Then we've got Wadru sitting just outside in 4th place. He's on 186. And then DJ is in 5th place on 181. So that's your top 5. And right, I'm going to get this one started. This is, of course, there is, of course, 2 races, as you know. This is race 1, of course. So, yeah, let's get this one done. Here we go, then. Watch those lights. So this iconic circuit kind of held them a little bit long there as they go through Eau Rouge, but like a few of them was going to do a bit of a false start because of the lights. Took a little while for it to go off. But I think everyone got okay without any jump starts. So up through, ready on they go. And now along the Camel straight up towards the chicane for the first time. McGrath managing to get himself into the lead. But look at this, 3-4 abreast going up into the chicane now. And McGrath's going to manage to get around there, still in the lead. A little bit of contact between Dan and Colonel Curtains. In fact, Dan has dropped all the way down now. Where's he gone? To 5th place. There was a little bit of contact on the outside. Dan just got himself, I don't think it was just a racing incident. He got himself on the inside there. There's a little bit of coming together between Colonel Curtains, who kind of got sandwiched a little bit. Then Dan had nowhere to go but out to the outside of the circuit, but manages to hold on to 5th, loses a couple of spots with PM and PM going up into 4th place. Osman in 6th, Brian Moncani in 7th, with Thunder in 8th place. Be interesting to see how Thunder gets on, being that we know absolutely nothing about them. He's in the AMG, so another one who's fancying the Mercedes here. And we've got DJ and Wadru and Unforgiven side by side through this double left-hander. All nicely through there. Unforgiven, Bennett, Silly Shot in 13th and Sai in 14th. Sai just waiting for them all to trip themselves up, and then he might get himself through. A bit of glitching going on. Hopefully that will clear itself as we see Bennett going up the inside of Silly Shot. That bright pink Ferrari. Get himself going at the moment, can he, Silly Shot? Sai just sitting there in the Jag at the back in 14th, but Stormfly and McGrath side by side as we come back to them. Coming up to the final chicane now. It's really tight, hard on the brakes here. Right, left, through. This is the 24-hour circuit we're on, so this is the other start and finish straight in the finish line, but we're not counting this one. Well, actually, we do count this one. That is where, so we actually start on the other side here of the source at the start. We've got 2 finish lines, start and finish lines, but the finish line actually is the one before the source. So down the hill now towards Eau Rouge for the second time through here now. Who's that going wide? That's PM, that's Brave going wide there, but you've got to be a bit careful on the exit not to run it too wide, otherwise we'll get a penalty. But I think he done that nicely. PM, he did. Stuck himself out on the outside there. Looked like it was going to be a bit dicey out there. It was going to be certainly be dirty. So he did well to keep that going without losing it. So 3rd place he goes, with Dan right behind him in 4th. Curtin's our championship leader, remember. Sitting there in 5th place with PM. A couple of cars ahead of him, who's his nearest rival, who's in 2nd in the championship. So PM, we know, will try, like he tried at Dragon Trail, to get himself away from Colonel Curtins and get himself in between cars, in between him and Colonel Curtins. Get my words out in a minute. Put my teeth back in. So PM then 3rd place, but Dan still chasing him down in 4th. You know what it is, I ain't done so comms for such a while that I've lost touch how to do it. But Dan in 4th, Colonel in 5th. Then we got Osman in 6th place with Brian Montani 7th. DJ now down to 8th, so is he falling backwards? Going backwards, DJ. He's looking to get a move on Brian here though, but Brian's going to stay on the inside. Going through Blanchimont and down towards the chicane. So Stormfly now getting away from McGrath up at the top end. But here, right in the midfield, DJ has managed to get past Brian Moncani, so gets to 7th place, Brian in 8th. There's Thunder in 9th. So that's not quite working for him at the moment, is it, Thunder? But take it, that's for sure. This might well be his first time with us, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I haven't seen him in before, as I say, so it may well compete in other championships that I don't cover. So we'll see as he comes down towards Eau Rouge in 8th place. Got that sort of Japanese character type livery on there. I don't know what the actual name of it, I can't remember the name they call that sort of stuff. But very colourful Mercedes there. He's trying to go around the outside of Brian now. If you can, get yourself on the outside through the chicane. You will be on the inside for the left-hander. Exactly what he done there. Great move, but sliding it through the exit of the chicane, right through the middle of the chicane there. We just lost the back end, but I think he's just managed to keep it ahead of Brian, although Brian's up the inside now on the brakes. Does he get him? He does get him back. Nice move from Brian. He's just going to try and cover now, but Thunder, yeah, he's just going to have to sit there. But now we've got Wadru as well, so Wadru in that other AMG trying to chase down Thunder there. Bennett in 10th place. Certainly Thunder looks like certainly isn't a newcomer to this sort of racing, is he? Right there in the mix, giving it everything he's got. Trying to chase down Brian Mulcahy to get past, but Brian doing a good job managing to get that pick that 7th place again. So let's just go back to our leaders and see how they're doing. Well, let's look at Stormfly. He is absolutely going away with this. So used to Stormfly doing this now, getting himself out in front. Before the pit stops come into play. So trying to pull a gap on the rest of the field now, Stormfly, to try and limit the damage in pit lane when he comes in. I did just see someone coming in there. I'm not sure who that was. I think that might have been McGrath. No, it wasn't. Dan, I think it might have been. Just came into pit lane, so he's had 4 laps. He's decided enough's enough, so he's in for his change. He's mandatory, so everyone's going to have to stop at some point. Look at this lead now that Stormfly's got. Through. Say the chicane, but it's more like the S's through here, isn't it? That's Spa. And in honour of his favourite driver, Verstappen, by the looks of it, with the livery that he's got, I mean, there's no wonder he's out in front, is it, in his home circuit. That's Verstappen's, not Stormfly's. But maybe that livery's just inspiring him to go a little bit quicker. Who knows? There's McGrath in second. Doing well is McGrath. He's was talk of him having a little bit of time off earlier in the season. I think he did have a little bit of time off, but it was very short. Back with us. He couldn't stay away for too long, and he's back, and he's sitting there in second place at the moment, but he has got PM behind him in third, although he has got half a second, and that's going to allow DJ who has got himself through, or did have himself through to fourth, but up to third now because of that penalty from PM. So we follow the green machine through towards the final chicane now. He's considering when we see him last, he was down there in 8th. He's got himself through to 3rd, so is he going to come in? No, he's not, but McGrath's in, PM's in, so a couple more just diving into pit lane now, but DJ fancies the time out on track before he comes in, so his job he's got to do now he's up in the 2nd, is try and chase down our leader Stormfly, who's already on his way down towards Eau Rouge. Lap 5, just over 10 minutes in, up through Raidillon now, along this Kemmel Straight. And where are the other drivers? Nowhere to be seen at the moment. I think he just come into shot then, did DJ. But that's your gap from our leader Stormfly. There is DJ. If we look forward now, if the camera pans out, they'd already gone round through the S's at Stormfly. Still can't see him. There he is. Quick glimpse of him going through, exiting the S's. And down to this tight right-hander for hitting Speaker's Corner. Now down this steep hill to the double apex left-hander. It's long, never-ending corner here. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Just keeping it nicely planted through there. And this next sequence of corners before you start coming to the end of the lap. Brian Mulcahy in third, Bennett in fourth, so lots of changes. That's obviously because of the guys that have come in. So Brian Mulcahy sitting in third. There's Bennett's got a bit of lag going on as Bennett tonight on this race. But we see what he's all about in Croatia. He was getting better and better each week. We see him, and again here he is in fourth place, challenging for that podium here against Brian Mulcahy. A little bit jumpy though, but does he get it done? I'm going to go to Brian Mulcahy just because of the lag that Bennett's got going on. But Bennett's going to try the outside line. It's going to be the inside, and that's much better. But Brian's just dived in, I think. And Bennett is in. No, he didn't dive in. Yes, he did. Yeah, so Silly Shot has got himself up to fourth place then. So these guys are all on the soft tyres. Their top four. Unforgiven and Brian Mulcahy next up are in the pit lane, and then we've got McGrath who's been in and out and is on softs as well. He was in second when we last saw him before he came into pit lane. He's in seventh place now. He might grab another couple of positions here depending on where Brian and Unforgiven are. Looks like they might well be time to exit now. In fact, they're not even in the pit lane. It's a long pit lane, this one. The 24 hours here at Spa. So Dan is definitely going to grab fifth place from Unforgiven. And there you go. So fifth as he comes down the hill towards Eau Rouge for McGrath. Then Colonel Curtains also been in and come out on those soft tyres. VM likewise in seventh with Dan as well on the soft. So everybody, it will appear, the ones that did come in early are on the softs now. Osman also on the soft tyres. There's Brian who's just exited pit lane on the soft tyres, but he's going to be overrun and done by both Thunder and Wadru. But what a battle this is between the two Mercs. Wadru, we know, loves a battle, does Wadru. He gets his nose ahead of Thunder through the S's here. So a battle of the Mercs. This right-hander and then into Speaker's Corner. It's left-hander before dropping it down the hill to one of the lowest points on the circuit here. Just be careful not to run it wide as you come around this never-ending left-hander. A lot of runoff too out to the left, but you don't really want to be out there. It's very slippy and dirty out there. Look at it, lots of tarmac to play with there, but obviously not the ideal line. So Thunder still pressurising the back of Wadru. There's Brian after his pit stop in 12th place, Unforgiven. Also out on those soft tyres as well, come out in 13th place with Sai. Also on the soft tyres. But with that half a second penalty, which we will be taking off now. So still down there in 14th for Sai. So our leaders, Storm Flying DJ, still not coming for their stop yet. Still plenty of time, still plenty of life in those tyres. So probably not going to worry about it at the moment. They'll probably stay out for a little bit longer, I would expect. DJ, that's not going to help your tyres though. Absolutely sideways. Around that right-hander. So clearly pushing hard is DJ. Screeching those tyres but wearing them down. It's actually, they're looking slightly better than what Stormflies are, so. But if he keeps drifting it round these corners, they're going to be a lot worse very quickly. DJ then. In second place still with Bennett, who's got himself to third now with Silly Shot in fourth. These are all the guys I believe are still not come in. So top four still yet to stop. As I alluded to just a minute ago, this stop here at Spa is very long indeed. So you're going to be losing a lot of time whilst you're sitting in there. So maybe the call to leave it to the near the end may not be the right call, but we'll see. Stormfly thinks it is. He's going to stay out again. He's going for another lap. So he starts lap 8. DJ's had enough. He said, no, I'm not having another one. So Stormfly now still yet to come in. Bennett's in. Silly Shot's stayed out. So both DJ and Bennett from the top four are in, but Silly Shot and Stormfly are staying out for at least another lap here. Lap 8. And then of course we've got McGrath, and these are all the guys that have already been in, so he's going to get himself up to third place at least here, although they're just coming up to the final chicane now. So we see Colonel Curtains and Dan Dan still battling out. It's been like this pretty much from the start, hasn't it, as Dan Dan hard on the brakes up the inside, gets it done. Good pass from Dan Dan, lovely pass, nice and clean. And Colonel Curtains had no answer to that one, but can he get him back up here at La Source? I think he's close enough for a move there. No, he's going to sit behind Dan Dan now. So McGrath has gone up to third, Dan Dan to fourth, Colonel Curtains to fifth, and then we got PM who's in sixth now. He was ahead, wasn't he, of Colonel Curtains, his closest rival at the start of this race. He's now behind him, directly behind him. So not what he wanted, but as we just get a glimpse of inside DJ's cockpit there, but just exiting pit lane, but he can't do anything about PM as he flies past. He has to get himself into 7th place. That's DJ. Let's go on board with DJ. Actually, he's just come out on medium tyres, so he's got brand spanking new green tyres on. These guys on soft tyres that are in front of him. This is that right-hander before hitting Speaker's Corner. This left-hander now start to drop down the hill dramatically. All downhill now, all the way down towards the double left-handers. You've got to hug the inside line, don't let it run out too far to the right-hand side. And then power down all the way through here. Power, power, power. Using all that curb on the outside there. Now onto the brakes through these next S's. Nice and tight through here. You can run it wide on exit here. Got to be a little bit careful. Don't want to be spinning on that AstroTurf. And then around that right-hander into the next right-hander before heading along. This flat to the floor section now before hitting the chicane at the end of the lap. But as you can see, PM getting right away from DJ, and we're going to just cut from that and go to PM because he's now on the back of Colonel Curtains. As we see our front two are in pit lane now, so they have decided to come in. So this lot is now going to be taking the lead, you would think. Depends on where the leaders are in terms of their stock. They may not even be in their boxes yet, but look at this battle. I'm not going to go away from this at the moment because this is the battle of the championship right here, right now, in front of you, on screen. Colonel Kearns with that tighter line, PM trying that wider line to try and do that, straighten it out for a better exit, but didn't quite work. Coming down the hill now. Stormfly he has come out in front, hasn't he? He has. So he's actually come in and come out, so that's a great bit of pit stop work there from the team. PM still trying to chase down Colonel Kearns, but Stormfly has managed to come out in front. Great stop there from Stormfly. That may well win him this race, although Dan Grant is right up behind Stormfly with Dan behind him, so that Stormfly on the medium tyres are being chased down by this whole bunch on the softs, and McGrath's going for it. Oh, now wasn't really a gap there, but they've held it, and he had done it. He's got himself in there. Now does Stormfly fight back? No, he doesn't. What a battle this is. All three Porsches here at the front of the race, nice and close. And then we've got the next Porsche who's fighting it back there with PM. This is where the championship is. So great battles everywhere as we look here at the front of the race. Colonel Kearns running a little bit wide. Oof, PM thought he might have a little look up the inside there. Didn't quite open enough there for him. But how about here? He's going to just sit behind him through this next section and try and get them along that fast, straightest section. So it's coming up around these right-handers here. There has been a change at the front. Grant has got the lead from Stormfly and Dan. And then it's Colonel Kearns and PM now. This is the opportunity he might have right up behind him here at this point. Can he get him at the chicane at the end of this fast section? He won't pass through here, I don't think. He's just going to sit there and try and get him on the brakes. He's right up there, almost touching the back end of his Porsche. He's PM. Going to dive out surely on the brakes. Yes, he does, but can he get his stop? Looks a little bit hot. Yeah, he's a little bit hot, and Colonel Kearns doing a little switch back there. He was wise to that as well. Oh, PM's lost the back end. Wolf. Just a bit too hot on entry into that chicane. Couldn't control it. Ran it a little bit wide and then almost lost it on exit. And Colonel Kearns was a little bit neater. Got that little switch back right in the middle of the chicane there. And he does take that fourth place. So now he's cut himself free from PM for now. Now he's trying to chase down the three Porsches ahead of him. We are coming up to 24 minutes in the race, so this will be the final lap. And it's going to be close at the top because I think Stormfly's finding out again with McGrath, and he's going around the outside. Stormfly's going to be on the inside here. Oh, some contact. Dan's thinking, yes, please. But no. McGrath said, yes, please, but no thanks. Now he's a little bit defensive work. Dan's trying to have a look. Surely not three aside down through there. No. Oh, McGrath has some contact. Oh, and there's a big glitch. Lots of stuff happening here at the front. These Porsches are fighting it. Stormfly still leading it. Now Dan's to the second, but McGrath has grabbed that back. Wow, what a battle this is at the front. Round Spa here with the Porsches. Dan don't want to be hung out dry out there. That's where I said don't go. Just been pushed out a little bit there from the front two. McGrath desperate for a win here over Stormfly. Dives up the inside. Stormfly covers it. But all this battling is allowing Colonel Kearns and PM to join them as well. But it might just run out of time before they come to the end of this race. Because this is the final lap. But this at the front is going to go right to the wire, and it could come down to that final chicane, you know, with the finish line just after that chicane. This is where McGrath is going to be looking to pick up a bit of slip. He's probably going to try and move like PM did down at the chicane. Dan just a little bit too far back here, but it's going to be definitely McGrath having a go at Stormfly down here, hard on the brakes. Let's have a look. Stormfly's going to hold that inside line. Of course he is. Why wouldn't you? But does he manage to hold McGrath McGrath's going to go on the outside, on the inside, more contact. Dan's going to grab it. Is he? He has. No, he hasn't. McGrath's got it. Or has he? Oh, Stormfly's lost in the background. Yes, he does. Dan wins it. Oh, what a finish that was. Well, what happened to Stormfly in the end? There was some contact. He finishes in 9th. But let's go back and see what happened there. Coming through, running a bit wide. And I think, yeah, he didn't have anywhere to go, did he, in the outside there on the AstroTurf. That just pushed him out, and he loses a heap of places, finishes in 9th in the end. But let's go back to the start of that, to the end of that race, and let's just see them coming over the line again. This is where it all started to kick off through that final corner. Race to the line between McGrath and Dan, but he grabs it by the nose. McGrath in second, Colonel Kearns in third, PM in fourth, Wadru in fifth, good fifth for him, sixth for Osborne, Thunder good seventh, Brian McCartney in eighth, Stormfly we know crept over in 9th in the end, unlucky for him, Bennett in 10th, Silly Shot in 11th, Unforgiven in 12th, got Sight in 13th, and DJ in 14th. What happened to him? My goodness me, has he got some damage? Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it. It does look like he made the wrong call on the tyres. Maybe just a bit too late. That long stop. Dan did get the fastest lap at 2:29.6. But that was a great ending to that race. What a battle between the Porsches and between McGrath, Stormfly and Dan. Great battling, and congratulations to Dan on that win. So, fantastic first race here for round 9 of the Manufacturers' Cup. Got another race coming up. So, what I'll do if I was you is get yourself another drink and get ready for that, because that will be up shortly. It's going to be another cracker, I reckon. Okay, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.